Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys. I hope each and every one of you out there had a fantastic week. It was a very, very short week for the Broncos. They played on Sunday, and then they turned around and played last night. And I will get into both recaps of that kicking off the show. But I just want to thank each and every one of you for showing up on a Friday. We're just a couple weeks away from Halloween. The holiday season is right around the corner. And the weather's changing. Weather's changing big time. So thanks again, guys. Sit back, enjoy, grab your favorite, favorite drink, favorite thing to do while you're watching the show. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the best. I really, really mean that. All right, let's go to the main overlay, which is the sidebar of all the topics. There they are, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys. I also have a Jackass of the Week that popped up today, so I'm including that into the show. Obviously, the Jackass of the Week doesn't appear on the topics. Main reason is because I can insert it anywhere I want, and a lot of times I jump around depending on what the topics are. All right, let's get to the comments. Dylan Coon says, "Hey, Charger Bill." Not quite. Not quite, but it's okay, guys. I take it with a grain of salt. It's totally cool. Totally cool. I totally appreciate it. All right, let's get to the first topic, which is the where does it go? There it goes. Which is the recap of the Broncos Chargers game. Now, this game was nowhere close to what the final score was. Final score was 23-16. Chargers, but it was 23-0 before Denver decided to, maybe we want to try and win this thing. Well, yeah, you should have thought of that in the first quarter, the very first series. Nope. It was totally dominated by the Chargers. And this game was in Denver. And they had that type of performance. How'd they get 16 points? Well, They came back. They got a touchdown, 2-point conversion, some field goals, but it was nowhere near as close as the score indicated. However, the Broncos did have a chance to win the game, obviously down by 7, or not win it, but tie it, force overtime. Just couldn't get the job done. A lot of people blame the play calling. I would have to agree. Even Sean Payton said that he takes full blame for the loss against the Chargers. Well, of course you do. You're the head coach. You should take full blame. I mean, you're the one running the ship. Steer it in the right direction, man. Make the right calls. And I understand, guys, people have to execute. They have to do their job. But for somehow, the Broncos looked flat Sunday. They absolutely looked flat. And that's the thing that I was concerned about with Bo Nix. And this isn't a Bo Nix issue. And I know I've said that in the past that Bo Nix this and that. Yes, he has done a lot of bad throws or bad reads, whatever. But it's also because the receivers aren't getting separation. They're not getting open. And I don't know what the deal is. But I will get into what Sean Payton thinks about some players moving forward. So that game, Broncos lost, like I said, lost 23-16. That dropped the record to 3-3. Then we move on to last night. Last night, Broncos Saints. Sean Payton returns to New Orleans for the very first time as a visiting head coach, going against his former team that he had so much success with and a Super Bowl championship with Drew Brees. Drew Brees was honored with the Saints Ring of Fame. Got the Saints jacket. His family was on the field prior to the game. Sean Payton was going around prior to the game and shaking hands with some former players that were under him, some personnel and some people that he worked with, that kind of thing. And then it was all business. All business. You talk about doing a 180 from Sunday. The Saints totally did a 180. The Broncos totally did a 180 from Sunday. Sunday, they were flat against the Chargers. They couldn't do anything. They trailed 23-0. It was pathetic. Last night, a complete flip. The Broncos came out strong. Cody Barton had the game of his career. Seriously. He had 6 sacks. He had a forced fumble. He recovered the fumble and scooped it for a touchdown, but it was nullified because of a penalty on Denver. Then he got an interception return for a touchdown, his very first ever pick 6. Cody Barton was lights out on defense last night. But who was lights out on offense? Well, you can say Bo Nix was with that 38-yard run, I believe it was, down to the 3-yard line. He was playing to win the game. He was all fired up. In fact, the entire Broncos team showed up for this game for Sean Payton against his former team, the New Orleans Saints, in New Orleans. He showed up, or I should say they all showed up and supported him. And at the end of the game, let me tell you, final score, Denver 33, New Orleans 10. It was a great game. Great game. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Fantastic. Javonte Williams was running like he ran prior to his injuries. It was a game that I loved. I absolutely loved watching this game because this is what I'm used to in Broncos past. I'm used to these kind of games. I'm not used to being down 23-0 in the fourth quarter. That's not what I'm used to. I have been the last several years. Well, more than several, last 8 years. But that's not what I'm used to over the long haul of things in the past. But last night was fun, man. Last night was fun. Javonte Williams was running like he ran, like I said, prior to his injury. After the game, in the locker room, Greg Penner shows up in the locker room and hands Sean Payton the game ball. Oh, it was a moment. It was a moment, guys. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It was fantastic. Sean Payton said that game last night was extremely emotional. But he held it together, and he was able to focus on the task at hand, and that was to win the game. Yes, not only did they win it going away. It was 33-7, but it ended up 33-3. But it ended up 33-10 because the Saints got a touchdown late in the game. So it was total domination. Bo Nix was throwing darts. Javonte Williams was running lights out. The offensive line was opening holes. It was the perfect Broncos game last night. It was amazing. It was a great game. Great game. Congratulations to Sean Payton. He now joins the head coaches, very, very few of them, that have won, that has beaten all 32 teams. And last night when they beat the Saints, that made it the 32nd team that Sean Payton has beaten in his entire career. Congratulations once again, Sean Payton. Game ball, Broncos win. They go on a mini bye now because they don't play this Sunday. They play a week from Sunday on the 27th. On the 27th at home against the Carolina Panthers. Is it the Panthers? Yeah, I believe it's the Panthers. Anyways, they're at home the 27th. So it's like a mini bye. They can sure use it. They got to get some guys healthy and get them back. So that's great news. That's great news. I'm gonna be glued to the TV Sunday anyways. I want to see the Vikings beat the Lions. That's my NFC team, the Vikings, and that's gonna be a tough game. The Vikings are 5-0, and the Lions are 4-1. That's gonna be a barn burner. That's gonna be an absolute barn burner. But it'll be a good game, hopefully. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the chat. Maggie, Dr. Dre, love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man. Mega Dre, I'm sorry. Mega Dr. Dre. Hey, thanks so much, man. Really do appreciate it for the shout out. Really, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up button. I'd appreciate it. Thanks again for jumping in the chat and post whatever you want in the chat within reason. But yeah, really do appreciate it. Thanks. All righty. Let's go on to the next topic. This one's a sad one. This one's a really, really sad one. Denver Broncos assistant coach Zach Grossi is taking leave from the team to receive treatment for cancer. Now, they didn't say what type of cancer, and that's beside the point. Cancer is cancer. It's never good. Never, ever, ever good. And I don't wish this on anybody. I absolutely do not. And he's 35 years old, and he's the Broncos assistant a coach. He's very, very valuable to the team. Listen to this. Grossi is involved in the Broncos offensive game plan and a strong voice on game day. He will be missed, but his health is more important. Amen. You cannot fault the guy for taking leave. Is it going to hurt the Broncos in the game preparation and his strong voice on the sideline? Probably. Absolutely. If he's that strong of a voice and he's got Sean Payton's ear or whomever's ear, yeah, that's going to be missed. But like I said, it's his health that is more important. More important. Let's get him back strong. Let's get him through this. And prayers and thoughts go out to Mr. Grossi. Speedy recovery. Just do what the doctors do. Take as much time as you need. Broncos will have to have the next man up. Next man up's going to have to do it. So Grossi, we're all pulling for you. Maybe last night was a message sent saying, "Hey, we're gonna do everything we can to win this season for Grossi." Let's do that, guys. Let's go Vikings. Let's go Broncos. Let's get this for Grossi. Let's show that we have his back and that he knows we have his back. And let's do it. Let's do it for him. Let's do it for him. Whether you do it for yourself or not, which is true, they do it obviously for themselves. But let's do it for Grossi. All right. That sounds fantastic. All right. This is interesting. This next topic is super interesting to me because I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I know why it's being talked about, but I don't like it because this is a United States sport. Now, I know that football's been transcended into other countries, like Mexico or Germany or London or, Spain. I mean, it's gone around the world basically and literally. But do I want a Super Bowl in another country? I don't think that should happen. Now, maybe on a special occasion, let's say maybe every 10th year, like we had Super Bowl 50, right? For the Denver Broncos. Broncos won that one, thank goodness. There's the flag right back there. So maybe every 10 years or, so Super Bowl 60, have it somewhere. Super Bowl 70. And I know that's a stretch of a lot of years. But if you're going to do that big of a production overseas, somewhere else would take a lot of travel. You got equipment to take over. You've got personnel to take over. You have teams to take over. You got hotels to arrange. You have fans, hotels to arrange. All of these things that come into play is so much easier here in America because you don't have to really fly 8, 10, 15 hours, however far. You don't have to fly that far. I mean, sure, 5 hours from East Coast to West Coast and vice versa, sure. But not going across the pond or not going down to Mexico or to Spain. Yeah, it's a whole lot easier. Let me get into this. Here it is. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is not opposed to having the Super Bowl played outside the United States. He also floated the idea, this is crazy. He also floated the idea of playing 16 international games every year if the regular season expands to 18 games. What? Every week there'll be a game in London or Spain or Germany or, Mexico. I mean, that's a lot of travel, guys. That's a lot of travel. But if you're doing it for 16 weeks, that almost guarantees, in fact, it does guarantee, I would think. Well, almost guarantees, I should say, that every team will play overseas during the season. There's 32 teams. You divide that in half, that's 16. That's 16 games. There's 16 games. And all 32 teams would have a chance or an opportunity or a punishment, depending on how you look at it, to play in another country. Is it great for them if they haven't seen the world, so to speak? Sure. Players will probably, maybe not to a man, appreciate it because it's a long flight. It's different. It's different time. You got to acclimate yourself to the time change. Not only that, but in a way, it's a benefit because when you come back on that Sunday, you don't play. You don't play. I think you get, you don't play the following week. It's your bye week. So it works out, except for if you're the first team going over, first two teams going over, your bye week's this week 2. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know how this is going to work. I really don't know how it's going to work. But it's interesting. Let me continue. Roger Goodell said, and I quote, "We've always traditionally tried to play a Super Bowl in an NFL city. That was always a reward for the cities that have NFL franchise." Oh, except Denver. They haven't had a Super Bowl in Denver. Oh, it's too cold. It's snowy. Oh, didn't they have one in New York City? Hello. Yes, they did. It was Denver and Seattle in Super Bowl 48. How'd that work out? They did it. It wasn't ideal, but they did it. Why not have it in Denver? They said, oh, well, you got to have a new stadium. You have to have 60 some odd thousand fans minimum. Denver has 75,300 seats available. That's more than enough to accommodate the NFL Super Bowl parameters. Okay. Is it warm weather climate? No, not necessarily, but it doesn't snow every freaking day. That's for sure. And Denver had a new stadium. And Roger Goodell basically thumbed his nose on the Broncos organization. We ain't going there. We're not having a Super Bowl there. So what's Denver got to do? Do they have to build a dome with a retractable roof or whatever to get a freaking Super Bowl there? Oh, Roger Goodell says we've always traditionally tried to play a Super Bowl in an NFL city. That was always a reward for the cities that have NFL franchises. Denver does. Never been there. Nope. San Francisco gets a Super Bowl, and they're not even playing in San Francisco. They're playing in Santa Clara. Santa Clara. They don't have a stadium there. I mean, they have a stadium there, but they don't have a team named Santa Clara 49ers. It's San Francisco. How ridiculous is that? NFL just doesn't like Denver. I've said that many, many times. All right, let me continue with this. And I'm still quoting Roger Goodell. But things change. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that happens one day, end quote. Talking about a Super Bowl in another country. I'm not for it. I'm really not. Maybe, like I said, maybe once in a blue moon, maybe kind of, sort of not a monument, like a momentous time, like, Super Bowl 60, Super Bowl 75, things like that. But, just random Super Bowl, I don't know. I'm not for it. I'm really, really not for it. Am I against expanding the NFL market? No, not at all. I'm not against it. I just think and feel that the Super Bowl needs to be in America. That's all I'm saying. Main reason, because that's where our teams are. That's where our majority of our fans are. It's just, I'm not for it right now. I'm not for it. And it takes a little bit of time when things like this come up or changes and stuff like that. I process the changes, and then I kind of get off my high horse, soapbox, whatever, and kind of come back down a little bit and say, okay, well, I understand. I get it. It's kind of like the Broncos uniform. I didn't like it at first. I kind of like it. It's kind of growing on me. I kind of like it. I would love to see the blue, the all blue. Oh my gosh, I would love to see that. But I do like the white jersey with the blue pants. And I also like the orange jersey with the blue pants. I'm not in favor of the white pants. It's okay, but I like dark colors, dark blue, things like that. The contrast between an orange and a blue on a uniform. I love that contrast. I just think the orange pops. Just looks fantastic. Anyways, I continue. I really don't want to see the Super Bowl anytime soon in another country. I just don't. It's America's sport. It's America's championship. Let's keep it in America. But things change. We went from 12 games in the NFL season to 14, then we went to 16. Now we're at 17. 18's around the corner. Things change. Things evolve. Things move on. Things get better or worse, depending on how you look at it. But when it comes to football and more games, I'm all for more games. It's football. You can't get enough of football. Football happens too fast. We're already in week 8 coming up, or week 7, I should say. Denver's kicked off week 7. We're already in week 7. Week 7 of the NFL. Do you realize that we're already past 1/3 of the season? That's crazy. Crazy. I mean, baseball, you sit back and go, good gosh, it's only the 18th of October. Well, not October, but it's only the 18th of such a month. And it seems like it takes forever to go through a month when there's baseball because they play every freaking day. Football, it's like, dang, we're already in week 8, week 7. Holy smokes. Yeah. Football goes way, way, way too fast. Way too fast. All right. Before I go on to the next topic, I'm going to get back to the comments real quick. D-Rock is in the house, says Big Bill. I said, what's up, Big D-Rock? Clayton Haran says, hey, guys. I say, hey, Clayton, what's up, my friend? He follows that up by saying what he always says, and I greatly appreciate it. Smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. D-Rock says, so would it still be the NFL National Football League or WFL World Football League? Great question. Great question, D-Rock. I have no idea. The only way I think that they would ever change it to World Football League would be if there are teams in other countries. Like, let's say there's, you have Barcelona, but that's the European League or whatever, Barcelona, Spain. Yeah, that's their, or maybe that's soccer. Anyways, it doesn't matter. If they had a team in another country, Mexico, Germany, London, Spain, whatever, and they were playing them on a rotating circuit. In other words, there would be eight teams that fly out there. And then you'd have, they would fly to the United States. That's the only way I see it. But I don't feel they would go to World Football League unless that were to happen. And I think it would have to take a vote. I don't know if it's unanimous, 2/3, whatever, with the owners. And remember, the Green Bay Packers are owned by fans. So that's a whole lot of people who could vote no. So I don't know. I don't know, but right now I don't think that there would be any way they would change it from National Football League to World Football League unless there are a significant amount of teams that are funded by the NFL, part of the NFL, and that kind of thing. I don't even know the parameters or everything that goes into something like that. The travel, the flight, the schedule, It would be crazy, but that is a fantastic question, D-Rock. Fantastic question. All right. Clayton Haran says, man, oh man. Bo using his legs and finding a running game came into play. Yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Clayton, I don't know if you caught it, but I was doing a recap of the game, and I'll tell you what, that was the best Broncos offensive game and defensive game this entire season. Yes, we did have a fantastic game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't prime time. It wasn't Sean Payton emotional going back to the Saints. Well, not to the Saints, but going back to New Orleans to play against the Saints and how emotional he even said it was. So, yes, this was the best game. I think the Bronco players dug deep. They did what they had to do to win this game for Sean Payton. They knew to a man how important this was to him, how this meant the world to him. And for Greg Penner, co-owner of the Denver Broncos with the Walton Penner ownership group, hands Sean Payton the game ball for beating the Saints. And Sean Payton saying that was extremely emotional. Yeah, that's special. And I think everybody on the Broncos knew that, Clayton, going in. Everybody knew how important this was. And they played as though this was their Super Bowl. And in some ways, it kind of was to Sean Payton. And like I said, congratulations, congratulations, Sean Payton. Fantastic win. But yes, Clayton, that running game, Javonte Williams was running like he did prior to his injury. Bo Nix was Bo Nix and doing what Bo Nix does best, and that is just do what Bo Nix does. Whether he runs, I mean, that 38-yard run down the 3-yard line, holy smokes, that was beautiful. I don't like to see him run because he takes these hard hits, but yeah, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. All right, Spence says, let's get this 2 alcohol party going. Okay, let me get to that. Let me get to that real quick. So I definitely want to do this for Clay. I mean, for Spence. So here it is.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
All right, there you go. Sorry about that. Let's get out of here real quick. I had to get back to the other one, but there you go. There you go, Spence. Did it just for you, buddy. Just for you. All right. Let's see. D-Rock says, sorry, I just realized the NBA has Canada, probably not WFL. Yep. Well, the same with baseball. It was Major League Baseball, and baseball had the Montreal Expos. So when they still have the Toronto Blue Jays. So yeah, you're right. They probably wouldn't do that, but it still was a great question. Still was a great question, no doubt about it. All right. Mega Dr. Dre says Bo ties the rookie record of wins as a starter with 4, and Elway and Locke each had 4 wins. Yep. Very, very good point. Very good point. That is very true. That is very true. So Bo Nix can break that by winning just 1 more game as a rookie. And I completely forgot that John Elway only won 4 games as a rookie. It was like 4-12, I believe it was. And Drew Lock, well, freaking Drew Lock is Drew Lock. But yeah, that's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up there, the Mega. Really do appreciate it. D-Rock said 2 alcohol. There you go, man. There you go. Big shout out again. All right. Let's move on to that guy from New England by way of Tampa Bay is now on another team. That's right. Tom Brady is now on the Raiders. No. Not playing, part ownership, minority ownership. Doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because Tom Brady has a voice. He has a voice on that Raiders ownership. You don't think that the other owners are not going to listen to him? Come on, he's one of the greatest, and arguably a lot of people say the greatest. Okay, I liken it to excuse me. I liken it to periods of time. Was Johnny Unitas any better than Bart Starr? Was Bart Starr any better than Tom Brady? No, you got to go by the era that they were in. It was a whole different football game at that time. Whole different way of doing things in the NFL. All right. That being said, Tom Brady has a voice. He's a multi-Super Bowl champion. Multi-Super Bowl champion. They're going to listen to him. Let me get into that topic. Here it is. Tom Brady has been approved as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders at last Tuesday's NFL Fall Owners Meeting. This comes from league sources to ESPN. Okay? Like I said, it's final. Now, does that mean that he can't do his commentary? I don't know. I don't know how the contracts are written out. I don't know what would be deemed, what do they call that? Where you can't be part owner and a player, that kind of thing, because you could alter the game. I don't know, slips my mind what that means, but what that says. But let me go back to here real quick. Get that off of here. Okay, so it's conflict of interest. So I don't know if it'd be a conflict of interest because I don't know if they would not have him do Raider games. I don't know what the deal is. I have no idea. But anyways, he is now minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Why would he choose the Raiders? I have no idea. Why would the Raiders want him? Well, that's obvious. Like I said, he has a voice. He has championships behind him. And why not? Why not bring him in the fold and see what he thinks? Well, listen to what he wants to do in his remember, this was last Tuesday. This is Friday. That was only 3 days ago. 4 days ago, if you count, obviously count today. So that was 4 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes. 4 days ago, this happened. And he already wants to make major move. What major move would that be? Listen to this. Tom Brady's first move as minority owner of the Raiders is to gauge Bill Belichick. That's right, that guy, Bill Belichick's interest in becoming the Raiders head coach. Now, I don't know how long what the contract is for the current head coach of the Raiders, but it doesn't matter. People will fire head coaches left and right, no matter how many years they got left on their contract. They don't care. If they want their guy, kind of like Sean Payton, kind of like getting Sean Payton, yeah, that kind of thing, huh? Getting him or other sports, whatever, they just cut you right out from under you. We got to get this guy. That's our guy. We got to get him. Okay. Would the Raiders would they really go after Bill Belichick? Why not? Bill Belichick's a proven winner. Has the game passed him by? I don't know. Some people say yes. Some people say no. Some people said that the game had passed Sean Payton by. I was one of those kind of guys that said that because of the way the play calling was. So, but if you can get a Bill Belichick on your team and you've got Tom Brady as a minority owner that can, is a voice in the other owners' ears and they listen to him. Yeah, that could very well happen. Bill Belichick could go to the Raiders. Be interesting, totally interesting, but I could definitely see it. Let me continue. This is confirmed by two different sources. Okay, there you go. Now, do I welcome Tom Brady on the Raiders? Absolutely not. Heck no. I don't want him on there, but he's on there as a minority owner. Would Bill Belichick really go there? I hope the heck he doesn't, because that wouldn't bode well for the AFC West or the Denver Broncos. Not at all. Can you imagine that? Bill Belichick in the AFC West as a Raiders head coach? Wow. You talk about a strong division. You've got Harbaugh and the Chargers. You've got, what's his name? Dennis Allen. Andy Reid on the Chiefs. You've got Sean Payton on the Broncos, and you would have Bill Belichick on the Raiders. You talk about a Hall of Fame coaching division. Holy smokes, man. If none of those make it to the Hall of Fame, that's a travesty. If none of them make it to the Hall of Fame, it's a travesty. Now, I don't know if Harbaugh would. I don't think so. But obviously, it would definitely would be Sean Payton would definitely make it. And if Bill Belichick goes to the Raiders, he was definitely going into the Hall of Fame. And then you've got Andy Reid on the Chiefs. He's going to the Hall of Fame by virtue of what he did in Philadelphia and Kansas City. Can't see back to back. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you're back to back because Mike Shanahan's not in the Hall of Fame, and he should be. He went back to back, but I don't think the NFL likes Shanahan or the Broncos. So there you go. But yeah, Andy Reid is definitely a shoo-in. So is Sean Payton. And so is Bill Belichick. So, I mean, man, if he went there, this whole division would be tipped upside down. It'd be crazy. Yeah, absolutely. It would be nuts. It would be nuts. It would be nail biting every single week, especially when you played each other. My gosh. Belichick against Sean Payton, Belichick against Andy Reid or Harbaugh. Yeah. It would be a division everybody would be watching. And you don't think the NFL would love to have Belichick back in the fold? Oh, you know they would. You know they would relish that. The Raiders will be on TV every freaking week. I mean, they almost already are anyways. But yeah, that would be scary. That would literally be scary. Every time a division game came up, it'd be like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. All right. Spence says it's Friday, 2 beers down. Got to play catch up for not having many last night. Well, hey, it's Friday, dude. I don't know if you work tomorrow. I would think not. I do, but hey, it's okay. So yeah, enjoy. Sit back, enjoy yourself, and have a wonderful time, Spence. It's all good, dude. You earned it. You worked this week and you earned it. So there you go. All right. Spence follows up by saying conflict of interest. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Exactly what I was trying to think of. And you helped me out big time, dude. You helped me out. So thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right. We got to go to more injuries. I know the NFL is, every team has injuries. I mean, the Saints were loaded with injuries last night. I think it would be might have been a completely different game had David Carr been able to play. Other players like receivers, whatever. I think it would be a different game. But hey, you got to play the teams that are on the schedule, regardless of whether they have a full cast crew or cast of characters or whatever, or they don't. So you got to play with what you have, and that's what the Saints did. But the Broncos now are 2 more guys down on. God, I keep doing that. I keep doing those comments, leaving them up, but that's okay. Okay, so you just got to next man up is what they're always saying that, but sometimes it's easier said than done. Here we go. Before last Sunday's game against the Chargers, Denver put Josh Reynolds, injured hand, and Luke Wattenberg, injured ankle, on the injured reserve list. The Denver Post reported last Friday that Reynolds needed minor surgery on his finger after an injury in the Raiders game. The earliest either player can return is Week 10, ironically, at Kansas City. Of course, division game. But we can use anybody we can get back. That's for sure. Not sure of the actual return, but both are thought to have a chance to play again this season. That part's not good. Because it says they're eligible to come back in Week 10 against the Chiefs. But there's no time frame as to when they actually will. But there's a possibility they both could play again this season. That's not good. Josh Reynolds, we need the guy. He's a wide receiver. And if he's got an injury to his finger and he needs minor surgery, that's not good because you catch the football with your hands. You don't catch it with your feet. You don't catch it. Well, sometimes they do. I've seen plays where guys, the ball pops up in the air and they fall down on the ground. They catch the ball between their legs. That's a rarity. That doesn't happen, but once in a blue moon. So, yes, you catch the ball with your hands. So, therefore, we need Josh Reynolds' hands to be well taken care of. And if he needs surgery, I don't know if he'll be able to come back. Depends on the type of injury, the type of surgery, how long it takes, what his body does to get ready for it and heal and all that. I don't know. But we sure could use a Josh Reynolds. I'll tell you that much. All right. Now, all right, we move on, guys, to the next topic, which is Brandon McManus signs with the Green Bay Packers. Yep, that's right. Brandon McManus, former Denver Bronco, and he former Jacksonville Jaguar as well. Well, the and Commanders. Redskins. Commanders. Anyways, he is now on the Green Bay Packers. Here's that topic. Former Broncos field goal kicker Brandon McManus has signed with the Green Bay Packers. A source confirmed on ESPN report that McManus has signed a one-year deal with the Packers. This signing comes after watching rookie Brandon Narveson miss his 5th field goal in 6 games. There you go. There you go. You go out and get one of the best kickers in the NFL in the past several years, of Brandon McManus. Do I wish him all the best? Not really, because I'm a Vikings fan. I don't want to see the Packers do well. I mean, I don't wish him any ill will. Like I don't want him to get hurt, or I don't want some negative thing happen to where he can't finish his career or finish the season. But I don't want him to be all that successful either, because I'm a Vikings fan. And wait a minute, before anybody says anything, yes, the Broncos are my favorite team. Period. When the Broncos and Vikings play, I want the Broncos to win. When the Broncos and Vikings don't play each other, I want the Vikings to win. That's my NFC team. I grew up as a Vikings fan from 1970 and 1976 when I was getting into football, watching it with my dad. I was a Vikings fan for those 7 years, okay? In 1976, I became a Broncos fan because of my sister, and that's a whole nother story. But in any case, therefore, I don't want Brandon McManus to do well in Green Bay. I don't. And I know the Vikings have to play the Packers this year. And that's going to kill me if Brandon McManus kicks the game-winning field goal, because I ain't going to like that. Not whatsoever. Not one bit. But congratulations, McManus. You're back in the NFL, and you're on a team that apparently definitely wanted you, because they're willing to sign you after, you missed 5 field goals out of 6 games. You ain't going to keep your job too long. That's for dang sure. Just a bummer that McManus is on the Packers, but I wish him all the best. Except if that means that the Packers somehow overtake the Vikings in that division. All right, we are going to go to the one I was saying at the beginning of the show. I didn't have a Jackass of the Week per se until just today, and I got all the details on it and the background and all that. So I am inserting the let me click out of this, because it's not the Jackass. We'll click that out real quick, and then we'll get right back to that, because this is the Jackass of the Week.
You suck, you jackass.
All right, here it is. Former Broncos quarterback. Yep. I bring in Bronco players. If they do something stupid, and whether they're still a Bronco player, a former one, doesn't matter. I will bring it in because I don't play that favorite card. I don't say, well, I can't bring a former Bronco in there. I can't bring a current Bronco in. I can't do that because that's my team. No, if you're doing something stupid, you're going to be the Jackass of the Week. And this one is a former Broncos quarterback, and here it is. Former Broncos quarterback has been arrested last Thursday, not this past Thursday, the Thursday before, not yesterday, Thursday before, last week, in Tennessee for DUI and a gun charge. Who is that guy? Well, here it is. Officers responded to a request of a minor traffic collision involving 2 vehicles. Former Broncos quarterback Jay Cutler, that guy, rear-ended another vehicle and was slurring his words with bloodshot eyes, according to the police. Cutler had 2 firearms, in his vehicle, including a loaded Glock pistol. Cutler offered the driver of the vehicle he hit $2,000 to not call the police. That didn't happen. That person didn't take the $2,000, and the police came. Let me continue. Cutler was charged with first offense DUI, possession of a handgun, under the influence, failure to exercise due care to avoid a collision, and implied consent. Wow. Implied consent, that's that $2,000 payoff. Hey, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Okay? Here's $2,000. Go down, get your bumper fixed. Go down, don't call the cops. Okay. Please don't do that. No, I'm cool, man. You want more? Oh, I only got 2,000. No, they didn't take it. They're not stupid. They called the cops. They had this guy arrested. Jay freaking Cutler. Man, if you'd have seen that mugshot, he looked like death warmed over, dude. He got this beard. He got his straggly hair. Oh, he looked miserable. Of course, I guess if you're freaking hammered and you're, freaked out or whatever, you're going to have a look like that. By the way, he declined a field sobriety test. So the police got a warrant and they took him to a hospital where they drew his blood and bingo, DUI. So there you go. And they even said in an article, I didn't include all of it, but memorize it. They also said that he was contemplating attempting leaving the scene. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been exactly what. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, Jay. Here's what you do. You don't stop when you're supposed to, and you hit a person's bumper or back end or whatever, and then you offer $2,000 to. Don't call nobody. Don't call the police. Oh, by the way, excuse me. I need to back up and get around you because I got to get the heck out of here. Yeah, that's what you do. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Come on, Jay. Really? I didn't like you when you were a Bronco quarterback because you were arrogant and just downright obnoxious. Well, now you're arrested for DUI and gun charge. What the heck? You got a loaded Glock gun in your possession? You're in Tennessee? Is that allowed? Do you have a concealed weapon permit? Why would you have it at loaded? What do you need 2 firearms in your car? What, in case the first one jams or something? What's the deal? I mean, seriously, dude. And what time of the day was it? It didn't say. It said they responded to, a minor accident. Didn't say what day or what time. But, it was 10 o'clock in the morning. Was it after midnight? Was it like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning? Was he like drinking all night? Was he at a party? None of this was revealed. But, you don't stop, dude. First off, Jay, what are you doing driving? Hello? What are you doing driving? People say, well, and then the cops ask them, have you been drinking tonight? Nope, I haven't been drinking. No, I haven't been drinking. Nah. Bloodshot eye? No, I haven't been drinking. No. Oh, and then later he goes, oh, yeah, I had a couple. I had 2. Really? 2 drinks? What the heck? Were they straight? Was it like straight whiskey on the rocks or something, dude, and you pounded it down? What the heck? I don't believe he had 2. Maybe he did, but whatever they were, man, he just, Jay Cutler, what can I say? What can I say, dude? You were a mess. You were a mess when you were a quarterback with the Broncos, and you're a mess outside of football. Holy crap. All right, let's back out of the Jackass of the Week, and we'll get right to your comments. Be right back.
You suck, you jackass.
All right, let's get back up here. Colin, I hope I'm saying this right. Colin H says beer is good. Yes, I like beer. I do. I like a good beer. I'm not the kind with the IPAs and all that kind of stuff, but no, I like a good one. Let's see. Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law from Vegas, says beer, follows up by no weed. No, I don't think he did that. Wasn't mentioned, so I don't know. Rudy follows up by saying, I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow. Well, obviously it made Jay Cutler a jolly good fellow. He was trying to pay off this lady for keeping her mouth shut. So, it's just, gosh, these guys, they just absolutely blow my mind how they just, they think their crap don't stink. They think they can just get away with stuff. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. Spence is trying to help out Rudy because Rudy says, I got to go to the store and get some beer. Spence says, Rudy, order through Walmart and have the call and have them have me accept the charges. No, I don't think it works that way. See, Rob Walton owns Walmart, so the bill should go to him. I mean, he can afford it. He got billions. I mean, they just bought the Broncos. So, I mean, what's $28, man, for a 30-pack? I mean, just go down there and take care of put it on Rob Walton's tab. How about you do that? Put it on Rob Walton's tab. There you go. Spence says, I think Jay had 2 bottles of 151 rum. Yeah, probably. When he said he had 2, you're right. You're right, Spence. He said he had 2. Maybe he had 2 bottles. What the heck? I mean, good gosh, people. Just absolutely mind-blowing to me. Just absolutely mind-blowing. Truthfully. Let's go to here it is. Let's bring the topics back up. And now we're on Sean Payton wants to shake up the running back room. Okay. Who plays? How about it? It's more than just the running backs. It's rookies. He wants to see more of the rookies, which surprises me because when he was in New Orleans, he never had a rookie quarterback he had to deal with. He always had Drew Brees. Drew Brees wasn't a rookie. Okay. But Sean Payton is warming up to the rookies and see what they can do. Why? Well, it's multifold. Think about it. The rookies are eager. The rookies are eager to make the team lifelong, to get the starting nod, so to speak, to be that guy that is called upon when the Broncos need a first down or they need a big play or they need to keep the running game going. That starts with Sean Payton making that choice and that decision. And that's what he is endeavoring to do. Listen to this. Sean Payton wants to shake up the Broncos running back lineup. Payton said, and I quote, "We have to see these guys. We are a young team. I want to see Estime. We are going to see Devon Valley, and we are going to see Troy Franklin. We are not waiting to redshirt these guys." Now, in case you guys are not familiar with it, I'm not big on college, but I do know that redshirt means that they can't play that year. They sit out, they watch, they participate like in practice and things like that, but they're not in the actual game. When the game comes around, they're not actually playing in the actual game. They're in practice and that kind of thing. They're called redshirting. Okay, let me continue. And I'm still quoting Sean Payton. "We will continue to see each week their involvement in the plan and how they fit. That is how you get confidence and how you get experience." End quote. Great comment. Great comment by Sean Payton. Absolutely agree 100%. We need to see more of these guys. They're eager. They're hungry. They want to do a great job. They want to impress the coaching staff. They want to impress the fans. They want to win games. Like Bo Nix said, basically he said, not so many words, but with his actions, hey coach, put the game on my shoulders. Let me do what I do. And Sean Payton took off the training wheels last night and let Bo Nix be Bo Nix. And we got to see exactly why everybody on the Broncos was so high on this kid. Let Bo Nix do what he does. And let Valley do what he does. Let Franklin do what he does. Let Estime do what he does. And we're getting production from these guys. Why? Because it's starting to come together, guys. It was kind of hitting a hit and miss on a couple of games where they're hitting the spokes. Now the gears are starting to mesh. They're starting to come together. They're starting to be more comfortable, more confident. And we saw it last night in the game. It was a fantastic step forward from Sunday's loss against the Chargers. They got to keep this momentum going. They got to keep this type of play and this type of don't put the training wheels on, Sean. Keep him off. Keep him off. Let Bo Nix survey the field, look at the field, and do what he does best. Why did you draft him in the first place? Why? Because of things he can do like this. He can take a team and under his wing and kind of a lot like Tim Tebow, will the team to win. But unlike Tebow, he's got a little bit more athleticism to him. But I love Tim Tebow. Absolutely love Tim Tebow. And Bo Nix is, in my opinion, is that kind of style. If he has to take off and run, he will. He did a quarterback sneak last night for a first down. He ran around the end, left end, like I mentioned, about 38 yards down to the 3-yard line. He's going to do what it takes to win the game. And he's not afraid to stand up to Sean Payton like he did on the Charger game and go toe-to-toe with him. He's not afraid to do that. And that's what I love about this kid. He's got swagger. He's got charisma. He's got confidence. That the kid is ready for the big show. And he proved it last night that he's also ready for prime time. Now, if Troy Franklin and Estime and Valet can all do the same thing that Bo Nix is doing, yeah, guys, it's going to be a very, very fun rest of the season. The last 10 games of the season, it's going to be a lot of fun. If the Broncos play like they did last night and like they did against Tampa Bay and like they did against the Raiders, this team is going to be fun to watch down the stretch. And I do mean down the stretch, because the very next topic I'm getting into is one that I am going to lose my mind on. No, it's not a jackass of the week, but it very well could be. Very well could be. And it involves Broncos country. That's right. Broncos country could be and could have been the jackass of this week. But when Jay Cutler popped up, obviously that trumps this one. Okay. That's the reason why this is not the jackass of the week. And this one angers me big time, because I liken this type of attitude, this type of, for lack of a better phrase, this type of no-show, I liken that to the Chargers. And I call the Chargers wagoners, relating to their fans, because their fans don't support. They're wagoners. They jump on when they win. They jump off when they lose. I know. I work with some of them at the golf course. They jump on when they win. They jump off when they lose. Me? Nope. I'm Broncos. I take my Broncos tumbler to work with coffee every single day, unless the Avalanche are playing that night, and then I take my Avalanche one. So, I don't jump on and I don't jump off. I'm on, period. The duration. I've mentioned it many, many times. I watched the entire 55-10 Super Bowl loss to the San Francisco 49ers. And I even watched the trophy celebration. Why? Because I like pain? No. Why? Because I'm a fan. If the Broncos are going down, I'm going down with them. That's just the way it is. I'm that way with the Avalanche. I'm that way with the Cubs. Speaking of the Avalanche, they're 0-4. Guess what I'm doing right after the show? Because it's on TV. I'm watching the Avalanche play against the Anaheim Ducks. Yes. Why? Because that's my team. And I'm going to watch them. Sure, they haven't won a single game. That doesn't matter to me. It's my team. I'm going to watch them. And hopefully they're going to win. Hopefully. Now, getting back to this particular segment right now, titled Broncos Country Not Showing Up. This frustrates me. We are not the Chargers. We are not the Charger wagoners. We do not boycott. We show up. It's only 8 home games, guys. 8 home games. You can't show up for 8 home games? Come on, man. I mean, greater Colorado area, Fort Collins, Cheyenne, Wyoming, all the way down to Longmont, not Longmont. What's even further south of that? Colorado Springs, all the way down. You guys in East and West, there's not enough. There's not 75,300 fans that can go to the games. People say it's expensive. I was talking to Madungus about the price of tickets. He said you can go to Bronco game for $75. $75. When I went to Carson with my sister in 2019 to watch the Broncos Chargers, it was $200, and I went. Why? It's my team. It's my team. And she's a Charger fan, but so it was a fun time. It was a fun time. Broncos won the game, so it was even better. But it was $200, and I did it. Why? Because it's my team. It's $75, guys. $100, 125, 150. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, guys. And yes, things are expensive. You ought to live in California. You want to talk about expensive? Holy smokes, $200 to go to that game in 2019. Yeah, with gas prices and Uber and all that, yeah, it's expensive. But I did it because it's my team. All right, here we go. Ready, guys? I'm going to spit nails. So here we go. Broncos country is in flux. New Mile High Stadium wasn't close to full last Sunday, talking about the Chargers, last Sunday against the Chargers. The stands were about 60% full at kickoff. That is not good. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Well, Broncos haven't played too well, and we're 3-2 going into the game. Okay, you're 3-2 going into the game, and you don't show up? Seriously. Well, the Broncos haven't been good for the last year, so I got other things to do. I mean, winter's around, winter's coming up, and I got to get stuff done, before winter comes, and I know this is a good time to do it because it's 70 degrees outside, and it's nice weather, and I think I'll go work in the yard. What are you, stupid? You got 3 hours a week. 3 hours a week of one game. That's it. Broncos only play once a week. And now after playing last night, Thursday, they don't play until a following Sunday. You could do all that stuff in the mini bye week. Well, their games are expensive. I can watch it a lot. I can watch it for free at home. Well, no, you can't watch it for free at home. You got electricity. You pay for whatever your cable, whatever you're getting, and nothing's free. You're not watching it for free. Yeah, cheaper, but not free. But the point I'm trying to make is this: 60% full at kickoff. Well, I got to drive a long ways. I mean, I got to come from Fort Collins. Leave earlier. Guys, it's not that difficult. The Broncos country always shows up. And reading this article really ticks me off. Really makes me mad because this sounds to me like Charger Wagoners. Exactly to me. When I was at Carson with my sister in 2019, that stadium, was 2/3 full with orange jerseys. Bronco fans showed up. Bronco fans were there. That's not Mile High Stadium in downtown Denver. No, it's Carson, 23,000 seat soccer stadium in Carson, which is just outside of Los Angeles proper. Okay. All right. So they showed up. We showed up. I showed up. Yes, we were there. Don't do this, Broncos country. This is not cool. Not cool at all. Let me continue. When they announced the total attendance, just north of 70,000 were there. That meant 5,300 fans did not show up, or about 7.1% of the stadium. Okay, people say, well, 7% of the stadium, that's not much. That's not much. You're right. 5,300 people out of 70,000 isn't much. But this is Broncos country. Or is it? This isn't Bronco Wagoners. This is Broncos country. I see it all the time. United in orange. Are we? I say, are we? Yes. I can't go to every Bronco game. I live in California. Okay. But I watch it every single week. You guys know that because I'm on the neighborhood with McDougall's Creevy. Okay. So I'm on the neighborhood. And I watch the games. I watched the 70-20 beatdown of the Dolphins last year. I watched the loss that we had to the Chargers. I also saw the wins. Okay? You got to not do this. Show up. Show support. The Broncos need your support when they're down just as much as they need their support when they're up. When you're down, you don't kick them when they're down. You lift them up. You support them. You show up. You do what you got to do to help the team win the game. Okay? Physically, no, you can't do that. Emotionally, yes. Your voice, yes. Your ticket in the seat, yes. Or I should say your butt in the seat, yes. Show freaking up. Show up. Don't do this. This is not what we are. We are Broncos country, not Broncos Wagoners. Let me continue. The fans booed the no-shows like Broncos country is supposed to do. Yeah, they're also supposed to show up too, guys, okay? They're also supposed to show up. But people say, well, it's only 5,300 people. It's only 5,300 people. 70,000, a little bit more than 70,000 were there. Fine, good, well and dandy. But where's the other 5,300? Why aren't they there? Oh, it's a beautiful 70-degree day, man. I can watch it at home. You know, then you know what? If you're a season ticket holder, then you need to be stripped of your season ticket. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. And don't sell your freaking ticket to somebody who's not a Broncos fan. Don't do that. That's even worse. Because now you're saying, "Oh, I just take the money and run. Now watch it at home. I made me some money. You know, I'm in the money. I'm watching it from home, and somebody else is sitting in my seat, and I don't care who they are." No, that is wrong too. Absolutely wrong. Don't do it. If you don't want to support the Broncos, then don't call yourself a fan. Sell your season ticket to somebody who cares. Okay, but we don't want you in Broncos country anyway, because you're not part of us. You're not part of Broncos country if you're that way. No way, shape, or form. Let me continue. When the Broncos fell behind 23-0, this really pisses me off. When the Broncos fell behind 23-0, a lot of the fans began to leave early. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. You don't leave. You don't sit there and turn your back when somebody or some team needs you the most. You don't walk away. You don't turn your back. I've mentioned many times, guys, that I liken being a fan of the Denver Broncos or Colorado Avalanche or Chicago Cubs associated similar to how I feel about family. Okay. I've got 2 grandkids. I've got a grandson and a granddaughter. If they do something that I don't particularly agree with or like or approve, I don't turn my back on them and walk away. No, I don't. I do the opposite. I do what I need to do to change it around. Okay. Now, physically, I can do that to some degree with the grandkids. I can, if I have to show them certain thing, I can physically do that. If I have to, take them someplace, do whatever to get them into the right path. I can do that somewhat physically. Can't do that when it comes to a sports team, but you can show support by being at the freaking game. 8 home games, sometimes 9, 8 home games every other year. Okay, so show up, show support. What I do, I watched every single game. I'm yelling my head off. I'm cheering. I'm buying merchandise. I'm buying things that show support. Can I physically be there in the stands? No, but you guys can. The ones that live in Denver can. Sure can. Or Colorado, period. They can show up. I physically can't, but I'm showing up by watching it. I'm showing up by merchandise, buying merchandise. I'm showing it up by doing the neighborhood and watching the games. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing support. I'm not turning my back. And when these fans leave early, the players see it. The coaches see it. The ownership sees it. And the ownership and other people say, they make excuses. Well, we're not putting a winning product on the field. What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with it? They're not tanking. They're not trying to lose. They got a young team. Like Sean Payton said, we have a young team. They're not trying to lose the freaking games, guys. They're not. They're trying to figure it out. And you need, and I need to be there for support. Because if we're not there and that stadium's empty, they're going to play like it's empty. Those stands need to be raucous. The fans need to be loud. The team needs to feel the energy. And they're not going to feel it if you turn your back, literally. Because when you walk out of the stadium, you're turning your back on them, literally. When you head for those exits, your back is facing the field. And that's what you're doing to Broncos or team that you say that you're a fan of. Don't tell me you're a fan and walk away. Don't do it. You're not a fan if you walk away. Well, it's just hard to watch. Yes, a lot of things are hard to watch. Life is sometimes hard to watch. This is a sport. This is not life and death. You don't need to walk away. It's not hard to watch. It's not. It's sports. It's 3.5 or 3 hours a week. Period. Don't turn your back and walk away. That's not what Broncos country does. Broncos country is united in orange, and show it. Don't show the ugly side of your back. Show the team your face. You're sitting in the stands. You're yelling. You're cheering. You're supporting. Don't say you're a fan on games they win, like last night, and turn your back 4 days earlier when they lost to the Chargers. That, to me, is not a fan. That, to me, is not Broncos country. That smells and sounds like Broncos Wagoners, and we are not Wagoners. Let me finish it up like this. It wasn't a cold day last Sunday. The temperature was 70 degrees in October. Broncos country, this isn't us, period. It's not. It's not us. Don't show that ugly side. Don't put bags over your head. We're not the Saints. Don't put bags over your head and with little crazy, goofy things written on the front. Don't do that. If you want to put something on your face, paint it orange or blue. Put a Bronco logo. Do whatever you got to do to show support. Putting a bag over your face or walking out before the game is over is not tolerated by this guy. And I will constantly point it out if it continues, because this is not Broncos country when you do something like that. Whew, okay. I think I can move on. I think I can move on to the next topic. All right. Okay, let's get to that topic right now. We're going to end the show on a very good, heartwarming, very, very good, heartwarming topic. Thanks each and every one of you guys for being on the show, whether or not you're in the chat or you're just watching, listening, wherever you may be. Thank you guys so very, very much for taking out the time on a busy Friday at the end of a busy work week, presumably heading into the weekend. It's going to be a Bronco-free weekend, but there will still be other sports, other football games to watch, other key games that you guys might want to. We got our own division to watch, and hopefully they lose. So, anyways, guys, thanks again so much for showing up and watching this crazy 66-year-old guy talk about sports. Really, really do appreciate it. Here's the last topic, guys, and we'll wrap up this show on a wonderful Friday after a Broncos win last night. Here it is. Chris Harris Jr. signed a one-day contract with the Denver Broncos last Thursday, a week ago. Not yesterday, a week ago. According to Mike Kliss of 9 News Denver, the Broncos wanted to celebrate the career of cornerback Chris Harris Jr. with an official retirement as a member of the Denver Broncos. Harris said, and I quote, "My wife and I had a talk with the Broncos about retiring a Bronco, and everything came together. We started out great, and we ended up great," end quote. Congratulations, Chris Harris. I am so glad you did not retire as a Los Angeles Charger wagon. Charger. I'm just so glad you didn't. I didn't think you would, but stranger things have happened. So I just glad that the Broncos realized that. They wanted you to come back and retire as a Denver Bronco. Hopefully you go into the Hall of Fame. And when you do, I know you'll go in as a Denver Bronco. So thanks so very, very much, Chris Harris Jr., for everything you did for Denver, for the great teams you were on, the stand-up person you were and are. And congratulations to you, your retirement. Spend time with your family. It's well deserved. And enjoy retirement. Enjoy the second part of your career, whatever that second part may be. Just really, really appreciate each and everything you did for the Denver Broncos and Broncos country. Chris Harris Jr., congratulations one more time on your retirement. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Let's block this out. And the end show, there we go, the end show that shows all the topics, right. How do I do this? Like right there, all the topics right there. all blacked out because the show has concluded as far as the topics. Real quick, want to get to the comments real quick. Spence says beer number 3. Oh, let me put that up. Spence says beer number 3 and 4 ready for consumption. Beer to alcohol. All right, and with that, we will get to one last shout out for Spence when it comes to the to alcohol. And here it is one last time, Spence, before we get out of here.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
There you go, Spence. Just for you as we get ready to head out and wrap up the show. Once again, guys, thanks for joining in. I really do appreciate it. Let me go right down the list real quick of those that were in the chat. I'd like to recognize if they're going to take the time to be in the chat, I can take the time to recognize them one more time. Here it is. Dylan Kuhn, thanks so much for being in. Mega Dr. Dre, thank you so much. First time, I really do appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Come back again next week. D-Rock, thanks so much for being in the chat. Clayton Haran, as always. Spencer, or Spence, I should say. GC, thank you so much for being in. Going down the list. Rudy, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Colin H., thank you so much. A new one for being in the chat. Don't be a stranger. Come on back again next Friday. Really do appreciate it. All right, guys, I am going to wrap this up and get out of here. And enjoy the Avalanche. Hopefully we can beat the Anaheim Ducks and get off the 0-4 start to this season. Last place in the conference. I don't want to see that. So they got to get a win. They got to get out of the cellar and start making their way up to the top where they deserve to be. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It takes a microsecond. Click on the subscribe button. It does the MHRT network a world of good. Go over to my channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. Look for this symbol right here. Look for that symbol. Click on that and then subscribe. Hit the like button and watch any of the shows that you may have missed. They're all up on that website. Really, really do appreciate it. Thanks again, guys, so much for being here. Have a fantastic Friday evening, and we will see you next Friday. Broncos Breakdown 5, 6, 7, and 8. But the Avalanche game is tonight. It's starting here. It started about 18, 20 minutes ago. I'm going to jump over and watch that game. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you next Friday. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.